So about like 10 months ago, Swordfighter 2.2 built the realistic escalator in Minecraft. This is definitely a realistic escalator. Everyone knows you jump onto the first level. If you miss, yeah, fall into the gears and pistons. Then you go up a whole block, a whole second block, and then you wait 20 minutes for it to move again, as it resets itself, while bringing the floor underneath itself through the thing. I mean, if this is not a realistic escalator, I don't know what is a realistic escalator. Oh look, it finally arrived. It's time to move up another spot. Oh, wait. But I'm at floor level now. Let me just jump it. Oh my god, I just fell. I guess you don't jump on escalators, kids. That's why you don't ever jump. Otherwise you'll fall into the pistons and gears and get killed. Oh, we're on level. Now where do I go? Oh, I mean, just normal. You know, you get the floor moved into your body. Oh, and then you walk out. That was like 20 minutes to go up 4 levels. Super realistic. But I think we can do better. Our first goal was to speed up the system. Once we found a speed that we liked, we moved on to the transportation bits. After a little bit of work, we came up with a much faster design. Now that we had a way to move the slime honey blocks up, we had one issue. How are we going to push them across to the other side? That's when I came up with the idea. What if instead of having just all honey blocks, we put slime blocks in? Because if you think about it logically, no one rides on the escalator right behind someone, and if you do this, consider it rude. Everyone's like a step or two behind someone, especially if they're carrying luggage, especially if they're busy. So I was like, why don't we just incorporate that kind of thing into our design? Now the last issue was pretty simple. The thing that took forever in Sword's design is that we had to move each slime block down, across, and up bottom, back to the bottom to reload the system. So my simple idea was quite simple. What if we built 2 systems, one for going down and one for going up, and then we just make a piston feed loop using the double honey and slime systems to get blocks to the other side. As we get to the top and pull it down, and then with a little help from a water vader, we push the blocks across to feed into the next loop, and the system repeat, bringing the blocks down, pushing them up. And then both double piston extenders would fire at the same time, moving it across, making it fully resettable. And with a little help from a piston hopper clock, you could turn it off and off anytime, and it wouldn't break anything. Now that we had our design, there's one last question we had to ask. Can we make it look good? So I got to work. I designed a basic interior with a few key concepts. We had to hide these repeaters here that update the observers. So I made a little plant thing. Added some lighting in, some glass, little window to see through, some plant life. And then the coolest design is we had a button that you can just press to start it. So we put a red concrete block in it using invisible item frames to hide it. And then some arrows to tell which way you go up and on. And with this design, you don't even have to jump onto the escalator. You can just walk forward. Pushes across. Now you can't see the other side. We tried to incorporate it, but it just looked really bad. A glass roof, and it's fairly fast. I mean, staircases are a lot faster, but like, who doesn't want a flying machine escalator? Like, you're just weird if you don't. I'd build this in my base if I had a base. Made a little caution stripe, because that's what you have with the escalators. The only slight flaw with this design is, if you don't get off it in the right time, you are going to get knocked through the floor like this. So we built an escape route that just goes down here on both sides, so you can't get trapped. But yeah, that's our escalator. If you want to see a detailed redstone view, let me know in a comment. Also, you can check out Sword's video. He'll probably do something if he ever makes one. Also, behind me, that's our next redstone build. It's possibly an elevator, possibly not. So the redstone system is actually quite simple once we got this part set up. It's just a lot of observers. As you can see, there's 4 observer chains per side. One that powers the pistons to the right, one that powers the pistons that pull or push the slimes. And then a little bit of a timing scheme with a double piston extender that just powers from a brain that's over there send signals up to water vators to power these things. Yeah, so basically, this observer detects this observer updating, which then this observer detects, which this observer detects, in just an observer chain. This one was a little bit more complicated because we had to send the pulse from like here out, and then it had to be detected to the piston, but also had to get carried down to detect the next one. And then some water vators with basic soul sand and observer detection. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you.